On today's DNVR Broncos podcast, we're talking about if Bo Nix should be in the MVP conversation. We're going to ask our guy Brian Baldinger that question. Plus, we're going to look at Trevor Lawrence and maybe compare him to Bo Nix. Is Bo Nix at Trevor Lawrence's level? Or should I say, is Trevor Lawrence at Bo Nix's level? That'll be a fun conversation. We're diving deep into the Jags and what the Broncos should expect on Sunday with our guy Brian Baldinger, starting now. Almost playoff Wednesday here in the Mile High City. Got a Super Bowl, maybe talking a little MVP conversation. Big show with our guy Brian Baldinger joining us in just a little bit. Live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your local Front Range Toyota source. Presented by Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Place a $5 bet after depositing $10. $150 in bonus bets is going to hit your account, win or lose. And we are the DNVR Broncos Podcast. Ryan Koenigsberg to my left, Henry Chisholm to my right. We got Dion behind the camera and Zac Stevens rocking and rolling with you today, fellas. Had a great time with you out at Dick's last night. And then that was just, our show was just the beginning of it. Yep. Then we got to hang out with our guy Justin Sternad. Got to see him move around, which was good. And got to see the big brothers, big sisters out there do a big shop. It was a really cool event. It
was really cool. Shout out to Justin for coming out. And he's good at this stuff, man.
Yeah.
He was just giving time with all the kids, taking pictures with everyone. After, I don't know if you guys saw this, but after he took like 20 pictures with all the kids, people started realizing like, oh, this is a guy.
Yeah.
And so they started coming up, and he was just like down.
Yeah.
Just take pictures with whoever wanted to. Finally, Andre had to step in and be like, hey, like, sorry, this is a private event. Yeah. Whatever.
He's the best.
My favorite was one guy who came up and said, who are you? And he said, I'm Justin Sternad. And he's like, no, you're Justin Sternad? No way, that's so cool, man.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, that was a good one.
Man, he had many outs to leave the event. Like, okay, after the meet and greet, you can leave. After the pictures, you can leave. After the kids shopping, you can leave. And he just stayed the entire time, helped check the kids out, and was behind the cash register. It was so cool. And it just seemed like he also had a genuinely good time doing it. So it shows you the type of person he is.
He's got 10 years ago, I was saying this about Aqib Talib. I'm like, that guy is going to crush in media one day.
Yeah.
I feel that way about Justin because he has some of the worst sports takes I have ever heard in my life, but he's really convincing with them.
Yeah.
And he's very good at arguing them.
Yeah.
So they don't call him Stephen A. Sternad for nothing.
Exactly. So shout out to Justin for being out there. It was great to see him. One other story from last night that I want to tell. There was one of the big brothers, big sisters was there and wearing a Chiefs hat. This kid was young, 10,
7.
8. Oh. And Andre, I think, gave him some shit for it. And
he's like, you're gonna go meet a Bronco wearing a Chiefs hat?
And then later during the shopping part, he comes around and he shows us that he has a Broncos hat. His Chiefs hat is gone, and he's buying a Broncos hat. And he go, what did he say? He said,
I didn't know what that other hat meant.
Yeah.
Just absolutely incredible. So shout out to him, converted Broncos fan.
Boom.
Even though he didn't know he was a Chiefs fan, which is good. We allow that if you don't know.
The best kind.
Yeah, exactly.
The amount of Broncos gear
Oh my gosh.
at Dick's Sporting Goods right now is absurd.
Yeah.
Like, you just know they are prepared for everyone to come in and want to buy Broncos gear for their families for Christmas. Like, we're talking like, I don't know. Obviously, all the Dick's Sporting Goods are really big stores.
Yeah.
But
this
one is like, you've got an entire store worth of just Broncos gear.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yeah, and it's multi-level. It is absolutely insane.
Real quick, while we were there, I had a flashback to this time 10, 11 years ago.
Ooh.
Was Osweiler mania.
It was.
And I remember there was a huge problem with stores being able to keep Brock jerseys on the shelves.
No way.
I have
Yes.
one. I have one.
Yes, they were.
Did you buy it in
because
2015?
There's only about one time anybody bought a Brock jersey. Same with Tim Tebow. That's when I named my dog Tim Tebow, you can pinpoint exactly when that became my dog.
Yeah, that's very true. The thing with the Brock ones, man, that was a short life.
It was, but I mean, those were flying off the shelves because the Broncos were probably 4 or 5-1 with him as the quarterback.
Yep.
Everyone's kind of thinking like, wow, this is the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Wild.
Now he's calling the Montana State game on Saturday.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
He's doing a great job with
Yes.
that. And one more shout out really quick. Bandit Coot in the Toyota chat says, Zach, the hair is on point today. I appreciate that. When I got this haircut, they did it way shorter than I was expecting. And the first thing when I looked at myself, especially the size, I said, well, I've got RK hair, old RK hair going on here. So shout out to RK for
nice
maybe a little hair. And
shout
stuff.
out to DJ.
Yeah, exactly.
shout out
Yes. And shout out to Bo Nix for making everyone's life in Broncos country a lot better, including all three of us, including everyone that's listening and watching. Because, guys, there has been some talk, and Ryan, I want to catch you up on this really quick. We actually did yesterday, but I said on the post-game show that I think Bo Nix should be in the MVP conversation. That was the first time the thought had even crossed my mind. And then Benny pushed back, and I was like, shoot, should I not have said that? And then I just steamrolled through with it. And then on Monday's show, Benny, I brought it up, and I was like, yeah, so Benny, you don't think he should be in the conversation? He's like, no, he should be in the conversation. You said he should be the MVP. And I said, no, I didn't.
Did you check the tape?
Oh, yeah. And also the chat checked the tape. And it is very rare for people to side with me when there is a former Bronco, but everyone sided with me. So I want to give a shout out to the Toyota chat for having my back there. And so that was the start and the end of the conversation with Benny, because he was like, and I was surprised. I was bringing my boxing gloves to fight him on this one. And he said, nope, yep, he's in the conversation. Henry talked about it as well, but I want to get his opinions as well. But Ryan, we haven't asked you about that.
Yeah, so I talked about this with Akib a little bit, and
shout out to the No Lie Zone. It's out right now.
Yes. One of our most viewed episodes through 24 hours ever with Bradley Roby on the show on Monday or Tuesday, I guess is when it released. So to me, Bo Nix is in the conversation. And in the conversation to me means if you are talking MVP, at some point do you go but it's hard to ignore what Bo Nix is doing in Denver. Right then he entered the conversation. He was in the conversation. And so I think he is at the very back end of the conversation. The only problem is the conversation's already over.
Right.
And so it's kind of like one of those things where the conversation is probably an open and shut case where it's like MVP, yeah, Matt Stafford, but shout out to Josh Allen and what an impressive season from Drake May, and hard to ignore what Bo Nix is doing in Denver. But Matt Stafford's definitely the MVP, end of conversation.
Again, arguing over who's in an MVP conversation is kind of, there's just no real meaning, there's no meaning to the phrase, because is anybody seriously considering voting for Bo Nix? Of course not. He has a sub 90 passer rating, in any category except for stats. Stafford has him generally pretty significantly.
Except for wins, you mean?
Except for wins, right? Which we love. That's all that matters. That's why I don't care who the MVP is. It could be Bo, it could be whoever, and I'm not going to lose any sleep. All that matters is if you go win a Super Bowl. And that's 100 times more important than anything else. So a part of the conversation, it's just I can't say he is or isn't, because I don't know what that even means.
There's a couple of things. I think, Ryan, you mentioned this yesterday, so I want to give you full credit for it. But I do want to bring it up on air. And why it might actually mean something is this is a starting point for next year. If he does finish the season right now, in terms of odds, he's 5th. If he finishes the season 5th or even 4th or even high, well, definitely 4th then, or even higher up, well, then he's in the conversation all off season for being in the MVP conversation next year. So I agree with you. It doesn't mean much for the voting this year, but it does mean something going into next year, which is huge. And I also, guys, I'm not convinced this conversation is over. There's still 3 weeks left, and Matthew Stafford is a heavy favorite. Minus 250. Anytime an MVP is in the minus territory. But let's say Matthew Stafford puts together a 5 touchdown performance. He'll probably go this week. He'll probably be minus 1,000. And then it's like, okay, no, it's totally over. There's still 3 weeks left. This is an MVP. And one of the things that Benny pointed out, and he's right, it's not who's been great the past month. It's who's had the best season. The season isn't over. We have almost a month left of the season. If Bo Nix and the Broncos finish 15-2 and Bo has, another 4 touchdown performance this week or 3, and then gets to play the Chiefs backups or hollow Chiefs team on Christmas Eve and do that on prime time again, I think he's like very, very much in an open conversation. Might not win it, but don't close that book just yet.
Yeah, the thing that I would disagree with you guys on is it's actually not about who is good at the end of the season. It's mostly about who's good at the beginning of the season.
It's a consistency award.
Yes. And everyone kind of like starts to form their opinions on this in like week 5.
You are right.
And then you have to undo, like you have to do something crazy, or someone who gained that favor early has to do something to lose it. And it's just like Matt Stafford has kind of just consistently been dominant throughout the season. And everyone, I feel like MVP voters have like made up their mind and moved on to the next thing.
You're probably right.
It would take like a collapse, I think, from the Rams and Matt Stafford for the conversation to even open, or like touch wood, because I would never want this to happen to him, but like an injury. Like for some reason he doesn't play the last 3 games of the season. They lose 3 straight games. The Broncos went out. Like now you're talking a little bit, but you mentioned like what I was saying yesterday, which is finishing 4th is, if that's what he were to do,
Right.
is a huge accomplishment for a second-year quarterback. And you're starting next season with national shows and whatever, Bo Nix being kind of like a hot pick.
Which would be nice. Again, like, I think even if Stafford loses it, Drake May and Josh Allen are just steps ahead. Again, it's just tough to get past the numbers would say that Bo Nix has been an inefficient passer this year. And it's great. Like, I think we're all really excited about what we've seen the past few weeks, and that's all that really matters in my mind about the Broncos right now. Like, I'll throw out the rest of the season. It's just that when you look at the general inefficiency, when you look at him where, just going back to passer rating, below average, completion percentage, below average, like yards per attempt, below average. There's just too much of that in a stats-based award, a consistency-based award. It's about what you're doing all year that I think, there's a reason why Bo had a better chance to win MVP before the season than he does now. And like, that doesn't mean it's not really exciting to see that he's this far up there. But again, I used the analogy yesterday. It's like, you're like 4th in a race, which means you're better than a lot of other players. But there's one guy who's lapped the field twice, and there are a couple other guys who've lapped it once. Yeah. And you're in the front of that pack of everybody else.
That's what the odds are saying, right?
Right. Which is a really good place to be. Again, like if you don't look at the past 3 weeks from Bo Nix and say he might be the best quarterback in the playoffs, he has that capability within him, then you're wrong. But he just hasn't. There was too much bad football from him all season to say that he should be the MVP.
I think there is, so I think we've hit that discussion. Let's hope we're having this discussion 1 week from now, because Bo goes out and has 4 touchdowns again. And Matthew Stafford, I don't mind saying that. I hope he struggles this week. I hope he's healthy. But I hope he struggles this week. Go out and throw some interceptions. Let's make this a real open conversation.
There is one MVP that Bo Nix has a great chance.
There we
to
go.
win.
That's where I want to go.
And it's the only one that matters.
Yep.
That is amazing. The Super Bowl
MVP.
60 MVP 10 years after Vaughn. Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be.
Wow.
Just book the Broncos for every new decade of Super Bowls.
We'd have to re-litigate the Mount Rushmore of Denver sports athletes right now. Oh, it'd be great.
That would be so amazing. A conversation I want to dive into with you guys right now is Bo and Trevor Lawrence, because I think that Trevor Lawrence is getting too much hype for what he's been doing recently in comparison to Bo. That conversation's coming up next.
The Gold Crown Foundation, man. If you grew up in Colorado and you played basketball, chances are you played in the Gold Crown Competitive Basketball League. I didn't. It's a sore subject. I missed the tryout. But today's leagues, they've got divisions 4th through 8th grade teams. They've got feeder teams like gold, silver, and bronze. They've got club teams, elite and open. And they not only play in high school gyms, but at the lovely, fantastic facility that is the Gold Crown Fieldhouse. You got high energy. They've got 6 courts over there. So now is the time to find a team in your area. You can check out the tryout pages on their website or check with your local school. Don't be like me. Don't miss the Gold Crown tryouts and miss out on potential Hall of Fame basketball career.
Wow.
Learn more and sign up by scanning the QR code on screen or by visiting goldcrownfoundation.com.
My neighbor has a Toyota Prius that has like 200,000 or 300,000 miles on it. And she just became a doctor, got a big doctor job. So she's like, I want to upgrade. I want a nice upgrade. She's like, so I'm starting to look at RAV4s, Toyota RAV4s. And her husband's like, well, her fiance is like, well, actually, she's starting to look at the Forerunners, leveling even more up. And it's like, she's like, yeah, I'm going to go and look at all the Toyotas, but only go to Toyota. I'm like, that's the way to do it. And so if you need a new car, you want to level up, Toyota's got you covered. Whether you want a car, a small sedan, whether you want a truck, they've got it for you. Plus, they have so many different hybrid trucks and 17 models available with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, including that Forerunner. Snow is going to be coming at some point soon. So if you need a car for the snow, Toyota's got you covered with so many ones. Yeah, potentially, if the Broncos ever lose. And if you want a Toyota, visit your local Front Range Toyota store at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Rappo and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places. And shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. Shout out to the Twitter chat, everyone rocking and rolling with us. Hit us with the thumbs up. We really appreciate it. And if you want to get the Orange Rush t-shirt, we've got that available. Just click the link below in our comment section or go to our store. It is a fire shirt. Okay, guys. Trevor Lawrence, man, I know he had a good game this past week. 5 touchdowns. Six total touchdowns because he had a rushing one. They put up 48 points against the Jets. Jets are bad, yes, but I'm still going to give Trevor Lawrence his flowers for that game. But people are talking about Trevor Lawrence like they should be talking about Bo Nix, and I still don't think that people are talking about Bo Nix the way they should be. Nationally, all I hear, and including like there's some national reporters that are starting to come to Broncos games now, and I heard those guys talking about him, man, they are just going crazy for Trevor Lawrence. So I'm like, okay, I gotta watch the film, look at the stats, dive into that. He's fine. But like, guys, you said Bo Nix was an inefficient passer in a lot of categories. Bo Nix is a better passer in every statistical category than Trevor Lawrence this year. Over the past, yes, he did have 6 touchdowns in this past Sunday. Incredible game. Yeah. But people are saying like, oh man, he's really stacking games. The games that he's stacking, let me tell you what they are. So that 5 touchdown game 2 weeks ago, 2 touchdowns, 244 yards, 56% completion. Good game, nothing more than that. The week before that, 2 touchdowns, 229 yards, 59% completion. Fine. The week before that, 3 touchdowns. Okay, Trev. 3 interceptions, 256 yards, 60% completion. Week before that, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 153 yards, 63% completion. He has one fantastic game that is carrying his entire last month, that is carrying his entire past season. And yes, and he's been fine. He's been good. But like, I feel like people are starting to make these Jags seem like, oh man, they've got this generational quarterback that was the number 1 overall pick now. No, they don't.
So we're going to talk a little bit about anchor bias here.
Oh boy.
And everyone wants to see things that confirm what they believed. So Trevor Lawrence, generational quarterback prospect, right?
Yep.
Not good for the first however many years of his career. Now he is starting to make some of the throws that everyone was so excited about more consistently. He obviously just had the big game last week. So everyone's brain is telling them, like, you were right. You had it nailed all along. He is that good.
Yeah.
So then you talk about him like he is that good. And he has been good. Bo Nix, everyone said, this guy sucks. 6th quarterback taken in the first round. Terrible decision. Trash, blah, blah, blah. They see things and they're like, those 5 good throws, they were fine. That one bad throw, though, that's exactly what I was talking about before. Yep. And so
you can't have those bad throws.
Yep.
I actually don't even think it's deliberate. It's subconscious. You see what you want to see that confirms what you believed in the first place, and so that's why the narratives are so different.
And I think even just going, like, we all love what we've seen from Bo Nix since the bye, right? In each of those 3 weeks, Trevor Lawrence has the better passer rating. Only by 2 this week, but by 16 the week before that, and by 28 the week before that. So again, like the stats can lie, and there are definitely bad throws. Like the pick, or no, it wasn't even picked. Now that I have the stats pulled up, it just looked like it was picked. Should have been picked against the Jets. It was just terrible. Like you're throwing into the end zone, you just don't see a defender on the side of the end zone. He slips inside. Like that should have been an interception. And he got away with it. I guess now I think of it, Bo also had a couple throws that probably could have been picked. For Trevor Lawrence, it's just the explosive throws. Like he'll have 2 or 3 a game where you're just like, he's on his way to the ground. He'll just sidearm something through double coverage right into a receiver's hands. And you're just like, wait, where did that come from? And then he'll also throw in a couple mistakes. And I would imagine that he just hasn't been punished for those mistakes by the other team in the past few games. Again, I only watched the Jets game. I didn't go back to the 2 before that where he also didn't throw a pick. But he puts the ball in harm's way. He's good for a couple bad decisions. He's also good for a couple of throws where you say like, oh, we had him off the field here. We just totally got screwed because this guy made a play that is unbelievable. And for the Jags, that's been enough for them to obviously win a bunch of games this year.
And Liam Cohen has been good for them. Really, really good for them. He's done an incredible job. But Trevor Lawrence, like he's playing just slightly above the level that he has played when he's been a disappointment. And so I'm not as scared. And some of the Twitter chats disagreeing, some of it's agreeing with me. I think that the Jags might be a little bit too hyped up now. And look, in the past 5 games, they've averaged 34 points per game. That is incredible. They do have a good running back, although he hasn't, again, people in the Twitter chat, I'm seeing it talking about ETN. They're saying, incredible run game. He was great to start the season. He's slowed down. Now he's still good. I think in the past 5 or 6 weeks, he's averaging like 70 rushing yards a game. That's good. Solid 70, 75. Not like unstoppable. Not something that you should be like so scared about, especially going up against this Broncos defense. And then their receivers, obviously, unfortunately, Travis Hunter got hurt. That would have been really fun to see him play this week, potentially on both sides of the ball. Brian Thomas Jr., we talked about him right before the trade deadline. It's like, man, his value is low right now. Did he just have a good first season and this is who he is? He's stepped it up since Travis Hunter got hurt. And then Jacoby Myers. Holy cow. I mean, this guy, probably the best Raider on the offensive side of the ball when they played against the Broncos every year, seemingly. He has continued to be that good with the Jags. So I'm not trying to say that the Jags aren't good. I'm just saying I do think that their quarterback and their team are a little bit being overhyped right now. But there are good players for sure.
Yeah. I honestly haven't heard any Jags hype.
Really?
Yeah. Like
I've heard it past week.
I haven't heard
the Trevor Lawrence stuff.
Have you? Okay. I also, my Twitter algorithm's all messed up now, and so I don't get. Like I was telling you, like I haven't seen a single Shador Sanders tweet in months, and I know that they're out there. But I just keep getting fed like
they're out there.
Look at the way this guy makes noodles he puts the eggs and all the flour and then mixes it up, and then people say like, oh, or like the ones where they say like, you know what this means. But nobody knows exactly, and so you have to click, and then somebody says like,
yeah. First of all, stop clicking on that.
But I'm doing my best.
Second of all, go to the following tab for like a day.
Oh,
and then engage with stuff that's on just your following tab, and then the people that you follow will start going back more into your For You.
Okay, that's good to know, because I only get like I'll listen to like a podcast or something, and then I hear what they say. But I don't have
just pure slop like. I got like 8 AI videos in a row the other day, and I was like, okay, reset time, only following tab.
It's so bad. But yeah, I mean, it's just, they're super explosive. Like you said, ETN, 12 carries, 32 yards last week. Wow. Not good. But also he had 3 catches for 73 yards and 3 touchdowns because he's just a weapon out of the backfield. Yeah. And if you get him on a wheel route, then all of a sudden he's off and running. And so it's just the explosiveness. Like Baishal Tutin,
he's out this week.
Right. Like when they had him going, that's another one of those guys that they added where it's just like all over. Brian Thomas, super inconsistent, super explosive. There's just
will not show up this week.
I believe that as well. But yeah, I mean, they're one of those teams. I'm trying to think, what's a good comparison? It's not like the Celtics or the Warriors, like where they shoot a bunch of threes, and if they hit all of them, they win. But they hit those more often than the Jags hit theirs, you know?
Yeah.
But there's playing that game where it's like, we're going to hit you for 4 or 5 big plays over the course of a game. They're going to get us in the field goal range, might get us a touchdown. We might fizzle out the rest of the time. But so far, obviously, like, what is this? This is 5 wins in a row since they lost to the Texans, 36-29. Like, it's not the formula that the Broncos have at all, but it's a formula that's worked for them.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to evaluate the Jags. Because so I told you guys I wanted to watch some of the Jags because the only game I had seen was the Chiefs, and I felt like that was a fraudulent win. And I went back and watched it, and I'm like, speaking of confirmation bias, I'm like, are my eyes refusing to let me see the Jags be good? Or are they just not that good?
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell because they do things that are good and they get results that are good. And when I'm like, if you just put them in Ravens uniforms, would I respect them more?
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell. I think I probably would, but it's weird to watch them because they don't feel threatening as a football team when you watch them play.
Yeah, no, and maybe that's a little bit what's going on with me too, because it has not hit me that they're a big time threat. Good, not big time threat. I do want to point out in their 5-game win streak, these are their opponents for most recent to pass: Jets, Colts, Titans, Cardinals, Chargers. The Colts game that they won was when Daniel Jones officially tore his Achilles in the middle of that game, so that's not a full Colts team. They have one good win in there, and not trying to diminish them, but just telling the truth about what's out there. That Chargers win, impressive. They do have some wins earlier in the season too, but their most 4 recent games are against arguably 3 of the worst teams in the NFL, and then one with the backup quarterback.
Yeah, and what's weird is you go look at these performances that are so impressive. Like, I think maybe so. Their best performance recently, of course, is blowing out the Chargers.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence in that game, 14 of 22 for 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Like, you didn't have to do anything.
Wait, what was that? Sorry.
14 of 22, 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Right. Yeah, so 7 yards per attempt.
Which is great.
Right.
The next one, I think their next best performance recently is the loss to the Texans where they scored 29 points.
Yeah.
Scoring 29 points on the Texans. Trevor Lawrence, 13 of 23, 158 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Not relying on him.
It's very odd that like their best performances are when they ask the least of him.
6.7 per attempt.
And Ryan,
yeah,
I think
right. Oh,
I think I have the answer.
It's actually 6.9 according to.
Oh, I must have put the numbers in wrong.
I
But
think-
yeah, it's that same spot where it's like that is good. You're just doing it in a super boomer bust way.
When I think I know why they're having success when they're not asking a lot from Trevor Lawrence, and we'll get to that right after this break.
Bet365, man. Bet365 has really been taking care of me lately.
Yeah, it has.
And even beyond the one that everyone knows about, like I've just been seeing the board so clearly and just putting out bangers every night. Like even last night, I go to bed happy because I missed a plus 1,000 parlay by 1 shot on goal. Like it's just like, I'm like, it's kind of like when you're a shooter and you shoot and you hit back rim and you're just like, oh, I'm still dialed. Like I missed the shot, but I'm still dialed. That's exactly how I feel right now. And Bet365 just makes it so fun to watch sports. Like tonight, Wednesday night, no Avs, no Nuggets. We've got bowl season, which would be irrelevant if it wasn't for Bet365. And so I'm going to be over at Bet365. If you want to get over to Bet365, use the code DNVR365. Place a $10 bet and get $150 in bonus bets. Of course, must be 21 and older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you're someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
And speaking of football, we've got football back in the Mile High City this week. Broncos, Jags. If you want to go to the game, you got to check out our friends over at Game Time. Of course, they've got the Game Time guarantee. It's the best user interface. And heck, you download the app, use that code DNVR, you're going to get $20 off. And if you go to gametime.co, if you don't have the app to get tickets, and the interface is amazing. I mean, I pull it up, it already knows I'm in Denver. First thing that pops up is that Broncos-Jags game. You click it, and it gives me their super deal row 11. You're 11 rows up from the Broncos sideline. It's the top 1% value. They've got an amazing deal, actually many amazing deals. And so you can get those amazing deals with $20 off by downloading the Game Time app and using that code DNVR when you sign up for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app, create that account, and use that code DNVR to get $20 off. Take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. And shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Use that code DNVR365 when you sign up. We'll get to the key to the Jags, in my opinion, what's really making them special after we talk to Baldy. You guys were looking at some Trevor Lawrence stats during the break. What stood out to you? Anything else?
It's just a very, Henry said it, boomer bust. Which is just, I think that's part of what makes them hard to evaluate. Like, you'll see Trevor Lawrence go 3 and out and make 2 bad throws, and then all of a sudden he throws like the dime of the year on a 45-yard go ball back shoulder. Like, it's just, watching that Chiefs game, I was like, that's actually just who they are. I thought that was a weird fluky game. Like, no, even on that last drive, he throws an absolute dime up the right sideline to set it up. And then, like, the game-winning play, he falls down. Yeah. And it just works out for him.
Play before that, he throws a pick that's called back for a penalty. Yeah. It's the most fraudulent game-winning drive ever, but it's another one of them.
Something that's not fraudulent and always is hitting is our friend Brian Baldinger, who's joining us right now. Baldy, my friend, how are you doing? Getting his camera fixed. Baldy, what's going on?
I don't think you can hear us.
Baldy, can you hear us?
I don't know what the heck.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
We can hear him.
Dion, let us know.
A little cold open.
Yeah, let us know when he's ready there. Because, man, got so much to talk to Baldy about. And, if anyone knows if the Jags are good or not, it's Baldy, because he watches the ball and knows. Dion, we good? Oh, he disconnected. Okay. There we go.
On the way.
Bring him on whenever you're ready, Dion.
Yeah, oh, there he is.
Baldy, can you hear us?
What's up, guys? I don't know. I'm having problems with my computer for some reason. I don't know. They sent it away to do something to it, and now the microphone or camera wasn't working, so I'm using my phone here, if that's okay.
Oh, well, we got you. It's absolutely perfect, and we're pumped to be joined by our guy, Brian Baldinger. And Baldy, let's just start with the conversation we were having earlier right now. I saw on your Baldy's breakdowns, you put out the question, how special can Bo Nix be? And we've been having the conversation, so I want to ask you that. And then also, we've been having the conversation is Bo Nix deserving to be in the MVP conversation? Not necessarily win it, but is he creeping up into this conversation now?
I would put him in it. You've won 11 in a row. You've got the best record in football. He's thrown 500 passes this year. You can't sack him. You can't get him to the ground. He's number one in the lowest percentage of sacks in this league. He's making this whole thing go. Like, I don't know how you can talk about Matt Stafford or you talk about any of these quarterbacks and not mention Bo Nix. And I don't care exactly how many touchdown passes he throws. I know Stafford's got 37, but regardless, the guy he's the architect of this whole thing that's working. And I think that you should put him in the conversation right now.
Well, and specifically working right now. Like, the past few weeks, you've seen him win in a bunch of different ways. You've seen flashes all season of tough plays off script or games where he's like doing well underneath. But the difference to me is that now he's doing all of those things in the same game. Like, he's not spiking the easy passes. He's hitting things downfield. Like, what have you seen?
Well, okay, let's just go through it. Last week, he basically breaks the pocket. He's looking to create Mike Bandy. I didn't know who Michael Bandy was. He catches the first touchdown pass for 20 yards, right? Then the next touchdown pass is to little Jordan Humphrey. There is zero space for him to get that ball in. There is a specific spot that he has to hit where the ball's not going to either get intercepted or deflected, and he hits the spot. And then the next touchdown is to Cortland Sutton against Keyshawn Nixon, and it's an absolute laser. And Nixon is a good corner, and he had no chance. Like, it's a perfectly thrown ball. And this is, I said when we went off the air last week, I said, these games are really important. Green Bay, Jacksonville, you got to get battle tested for the playoffs. This isn't Tennessee and some of these other games where, they were kind of hanging around. These are real playoff teams. And all he did was, I don't know if that was his best game, but he probably hasn't played any better than he did last Sunday when they needed it the most, and brought him from behind. Like, they were down 23-14, and he brought him from behind to win the game. So, I don't know. You can go through all these different plays, and you can get, put them under the microscope or whatever. But I mean, just the eye test says this is a special player.
Love it. Speaking of playing playoff teams, this week got the Jacksonville Jaguars on the schedule, and I'm a little bit confused by them. So I'm curious what your evaluation of the Jags is so far.
Well, I'll say this first of all. I did not know Liam Cohen. So during one of the OTAs this year, I drove from Fort Lauderdale up to Jacksonville. It's every bit of 5 hours, and I met Tony Baselli there, and I met Gladstone, James Gladstone, the GM, and I met Liam, and then I watched practice, and I talked to him after practice. We all watched it together. He's an impressive guy, and honestly, my first impression is I didn't know that Trevor Lawrence was salvageable. And you watch him play these last 2-3 weeks, like he's playing better than he's ever played. The offensive line has stabilized. Jacoby Myers was a good pickup. But I can't remember any time that a running back has caught 3 touchdown passes in a game. I know it's happened, but I don't remember it. And that's what he did to Travis Etienne. Like they were back at Clemson playing Wofford College last week. They made it look so easy. So that's that. And then the other thing that's really amazing about him is Liam hired Anthony Campanile to be the defensive coordinator. And I mean, outside of trading for Greg Newsome and maybe one other, it's the exact same defense as last year, and they were horrendous last year. Nobody broke down more than the Jacksonville Jaguars. They just gave touchdowns away. They don't do that anymore. Like they are legit tough defense. They shut the Chargers down 5 weeks ago. I mean, I don't know if the Chargers even scored a touchdown that game, but they're legit right now. They jump all over these bad teams. Like they just let them know, and, when it's 21-0, that this game isn't. We're not letting you hang around. They take care of business right now.
So, Baldy, we got 2 hot teams facing each other on Sunday with these 2 teams. What's the key for the Broncos to beat the Jags from like a Jags perspective?
Well, I think that, they haven't seen a pass rush the way they're going to see. Now, they've got a kid, Van Lanen, playing left tackle. He looks pretty good, but he hasn't seen Nick Bonito. I mean, those Sharks and those Denver Waters last week. I mean, I saw John Franklin Myers and Zach Allen, hit Jordan Love 10 times last week. I mean, if you get to Trevor Lawrence now and you start tattooing him the way they did Jordan Love, they're probably not going to complete 5 touchdown passes the way Trevor did a week ago. So I think the pass rush is important. The interception by Patrick Surtain wasn't just an interception. I mean, that was just that's a play that only is made by elite corners in this league. To literally jump first in front of the receiver where the ball is perfectly thrown and take the ball away. Like maybe Patrick and a couple other guys can make that play. So, you make those kind of plays out there, it's on tape. Does Trevor Lawrence have the same gusto to go take a shot down the field to one of his receivers right now? He might pull off on a play like that against Surtain.
Yeah, and you wonder if getting the first interception of the year can kind of open the floodgates for Pat, and honestly for the entire defensive backfield where they've played really well but haven't gotten turnovers, especially just going back and watching some Trevor Lawrence. You could say this about most quarterbacks, but there are some throws that could have been turnovers that weren't pulled off or were called back for penalties. And you start throwing that pressure in there. We saw what it did to Jordan Love. And I feel pretty good saying I think that this could be a week where Trevor Lawrence turns the ball over and the Broncos hopefully can take advantage of that.
Well, he has gotten rid of. He was a very erratic player over the last couple of years, and he did not put stretches together where they were winning games because of Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they didn't win a lot of games to begin with. I think coming into the season, he was like 3-15 in his last 18 starts. It was something dreadful like that. So this is kind of new for him, and so I'm sure his confidence is high. I'm sure he's pulling the trigger now and throwing the ball with a lot more accuracy, because I never thought he was a really highly accurate quarterback. I thought everything had to be right for him to hit a moving target consistently, the way you got to do in this business. He looks a lot better now, but one way to test that is to hit him, and chase him and get him, see if you can rattle him, in that atmosphere, at that altitude, with that crowd, the whole thing. Like this could be a good test for him just the way it was for you last week. This is a good test for him to see if they're battle tested and ready for the postseason. And this would be a really good test before they get there.
What kind of stuff is Liam Cohen doing to make them so successful on offense or more successful on offense?
Well, I mean, if you look at what he did, say, just in Tampa last year, Bucky Irving had an unbelievable year, him and Rachaad White. For the 3 prior years in Tampa, from the time that Tom Brady left until last year, they were the last in the league in rushing. Last. Now, they got Bucky Irving, who was a rookie. But what he does in the run game it's subtle, but it's creative. And he's very, very good in the run game. And then the play action passes off of the run game. I mean, Baker Mayfield last year under Liam Cohen was one of only 10 quarterbacks in the history of this game to throw for over 40 touchdown passes in over 4,500 yards. There's only 10 of them. Burrow was one, Peyton Manning. And a lot of that is just Liam Cohen getting the running game going. And you'll see Bashal Tootin, the rookie out of Virginia Tech. You're going to see, quite a few other guys in addition to Travis Etienne carry the football. So it's the way that they run the ball that kind of it's a numbers game. He gets the numbers advantage with his motions and shifts. And I think that's a big part of Jacksonville's success.
Baldy, what's going on with Riley Moss? In Denver, it seems like the conversation is he is getting unfairly targeted and flags are thrown on him. He leads the NFL in defensive pass interference penalties. From your perspective, is he playing pretty clean ball and just getting way too many ticky-tack penalties called, or does he need to change the way he plays?
Well, I don't know that he can change the way. I feel like there's some panic by him with the ball in the air. And you've got to play that position with your eyes and your feet. You almost have to play it. The hands obviously come into play, but they come into play last. Like, you've got to win with your feet. You've got to be able to do things with your eyes. Now, you can't always turn to find a ball, so you got to play blind sometimes. But you just have to, like, if I was Riley, I would go back and watch all of my penalties. And I would be really honest with them, and say, is there things I can do where I'm not interfering? Because you can obviously put your hands on players and not get called, but I would really go back and study the penalties I've incurred. And because they've given them way too, these penalties now, you get one of those in the wrong spot of a game, like you're getting instant field position. Mm-hmm. And when they happen in the end zone, the ball's at the 1 yard line. So I think there's a way that he can improve, and he can stop that flag from flying in some of these passes that he's been guilty of.
And Baldy, final one for you. Do the Broncos get the win over the Jags this week and get to 12 straight?
I do. I think so. This is a good. These guys are good. I mean, this Trayvon Walker is healthy. He's been playing the last 4 weeks with a big cast on his hand from a surgery he had. And every time I see it now, the cast shrinks a little bit, melts a little bit more. So he's getting use of his hands now. He's a really strong kid, number 44 at the point. Josh Allen's playing as good as he's ever played. They're talented up front. It'll be a challenge to run the ball. But I think his ability, Bo Nix's ability to keep plays alive, because if it's not there at the top, if he doesn't see what he likes at the top of his drop, he's moving. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because he's got a great feel and a great pocket presence to avoid, some good pass rushers.
Love it, Baldy. And I lied. One more. Are you rocking Baldy's breakdown gear right now? Is that what we're doing?
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah, just go to baldysbreakdowns.com and start ordering away. Get your Christmas gifts out there right now, for sure.
There we go. We got time. I love it, Baldy. Happy early holidays to you. We look forward to catching up with you before Christmas next week, hopefully. So thank you for joining us today, and enjoy the weekend.
You got it, guys. Take care, man. Enjoy the game Sunday.
Man, the absolute best right there. Baldy. So what's Baldy's gear?
Yeah, Baldy FC.
I absolutely love it. Let's react to that and also get to the key, what I think the key is for the Jags playing so good. And are there some revenge games? That's coming up next.
Thank you to Coors Light. Coors Light. Wow. What a beer. What a drink.
Yep.
What a company.
Yeah.
What a location.
Yeah.
Just, I mean,
Cold as the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah. They just nail it all. And I just went now, like, when I think about the weekend, which we are at Hump Day,
Thank goodness.
it's just like how long until that first Coors Light of the weekend, which in the winter, I would say the first Coors Light of the weekend is the top Coors Light. In the summer, I would say like the first Coors Light on the golf course is the top Coors Light.
Okay, I like that
You
distinction.
could go like first Coors Light at the Broncos game this weekend,
Yep.
which those also hit.
Yep,
And
yep.
At the Broncos tailgate, wherever you go this weekend, make sure you hit up our friends over at Coors Light. And heck, if you're not even going anywhere, you can just go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR and have some ice cold, refreshing Blue Mountain Coors Light sent straight to your door. Shout out to our friends over at Coors Light. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
And Ryan, I'm going to say the best Coors Light is one that is followed by an order of Taco Bell. And anything at Taco Bell, that combination of Coors and Taco Bell, it hits the spot, and that screams weekend to me. That is just, and it doesn't matter, summer, winter, spring, summer, or fall. Get your Taco Bell because they've got the new Cantina Chicken menu, and you're in for a treat. The Cantina Chicken menu debuts a new flavorful chicken, slow roasted and perfectly seasoned with Mexican spices, including garlic, onions, and a variety of chilies. But you cannot go wrong over at Taco Bell. They have so many things. And stay tuned for something coming very soon to Taco Bell. And
maybe best news of the year.
It's very true. You've said that earlier today too, actually. The Buffs boxes are sold out, but local Colorado Taco Bell restaurants would still like to hear from fans. Which student athletes would you like to see featured on the Collector Cups for 2026? Put your comments in the chat and let us know who you think should be on those cups. So let us know. The Buffs love Bell. Shout out to Taco Bell. And shout out to our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Use that code DNVR365. Shout out to everyone that's in the Twitter chat. Hit us with the thumbs up. We really appreciate it. Okay, guys, I think what makes the Jags special that we haven't hit on yet is what they do on the defensive side. They do two things elite, and one of them really, really, really helps Trevor Lawrence. As Baldy said, their run defense is excellent. So sets up for another Bo Nix game, big time, especially. We'll learn more about RJ Harvey today and tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned for that throughout the week. But it's going to be another Bo Nix game. But what helps Trevor Lawrence is they take the ball away at the best at the NFL. They have the second most takeaways in the NFL, the second most interceptions in the NFL. And in these past 3 weeks, they have 8 takeaways, 3 in 2 different games and 2 in the other game. That, to me, is just the key right there. Like, Bo Nix and the Broncos offense don't lose the game for you. You don't have to put up 40 points. Just don't go out and turn the ball over consistently. Because then Trevor Lawrence, thank you, and Liam Cohen are getting the ball in great field position after those turnovers. And that's why you're looking at them putting up 35 points in the past 5 weeks, an average of that. And Trevor Lawrence is throwing for like 225 yards on average. Those two things don't add up. It's because of the takeaways.
And Devin Lloyd has 5 picks.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which is crazy.
I mean, their linebacking core is really sick. Devin Lloyd and Foyesade Aluakun. Like, that's formidable. And they fly around and they make plays. Devin Lloyd having 5 is crazy.
It is crazy.
How close is he to leading the league?
That's a good question. Very close.
It's got to be close, yeah.
Yeah, he'd be right up there. It would take a minute. But no, I mean, it's just a good defense. Like, that's maybe not the flashiest. Again, it's Josh Allen. Poor guy had to change his name because of the other Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That sucks. Josh Allen Hines, who just does the same thing every year.
Josh Hines Allen.
I learned the last name. I can't learn a second. But he just gives you the 10 sacks a year, just super consistent. I think he had the 1 year that he went crazy. But again, just across the board, solid. And when you look at, again, you force turnovers, you're 7th in yards per rush allowed, you're 8th in yards per pass allowed. Like, it's just a good, clean, across the board defense that doesn't give much up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a unique challenge. And I think what just hit me in the last few minutes is that I kind of think this is the first time the Broncos are the hunted in this season. And there's, of course, like, you play the Raiders, like, you're the hunted. But,
right.
like, when it comes to, like, a big-time matchup, like, you go, even in that Chiefs game, even though he had a better record, like, we are the hunters there.
Yeah.
Last week, you're home underdogs. You're the hunters.
Yep.
Now it's actually, you kind of are respected. and the Jags are the ones who are fighting for respect.
Right.
You're in a totally different position as a team, and another opportunity for the Broncos to show they can handle any situation. Like, now you're kind of up against the upstart Jags who are trying to prove to everyone how legit they are against you rather than the other way around.
We saw in this conversation, we saw Sean be very aggressive last week. Went for it on 4th down 4 times, made it 3 of those times.
I think 2.
2?
Yeah, because they missed out on the last two drives.
Last 2. Okay, I just remember the
Right.
fullback run to Adam Prentice. I thought they were 3 for 3 to start.
No, there's one before that where they went play action. He targeted Mims. It got broken up.
And that was 4th down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
4 straight turnover on downs to end the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think Sean is going to be that aggressive when he's not the hunter? Do you think he's going to continue that mindset throughout, or was that just a game-specific thing?
No, I think that it was a sign of how much he trusts these guys, even though they failed on both of the last 2. I think he's going back to it because what he was proven right by the defense. Going for it on 4th down isn't all about your offense. It's also about your defense. Do you feel like you can get away with putting them in a position that's potentially 40 yards different? And he said yes, and they held the Packers to -4 yards combined on the 2 drives that followed.
Pretty good.
That is incredible.
Also, Dolphins benching Tua for Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, got to try something.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, you got to feel good. Sean likes to go for it on 4th downs. There's a situation where you do it. I think those all just kind of, I don't think he went into it saying we're going for it on a bunch of 4th downs. It's just like, here we are at the 45-yard line. What are we going to do? Like,
Well, he said after the game, he said going into the game, I knew I was going to be very aggressive this game.
Huh. Yeah.
And maybe that doesn't mean 4th downs.
But he's done it all year, going for all these 4th downs. It feels like. I could be wrong, but it feels like. Maybe did we talk about this? We might have talked about this. But it does feel like throughout the year, it's just kind of they've been willing to do this.
That's
and a
just
lot of it
football
turns
in
out to be shot. Right.
Like,
I personally love it.
I do too.
I love
Yeah.
being super aggressive now.
There was one, I think it was 4th and 3.
When they could have kicked the 57-yarder.
Yeah, and I was actually just saying, like, just punt it, because I think it was the last one.
Okay.
And they are out of timeouts. You were going to make them go, like, 90 yards-ish in a minute with no timeouts. Like, I was out on that. I was fine with doing it, but got away with it both ways.
And it's might come back to bite you at some point. I mean, Dan Campbell, what was it, 2 years ago when the Lions made the NFC Championship game? And he's been super aggressive going for it on every 4th down throughout the season. It worked for him until then. I trust Sean doing it at the right times.
That's more like the three-pointer in the NBA. Like, live by the 3, die by the 3. And when you're making them, it's impossible to, like, if you have 4 downs to get 10 yards, it's going to be really, really hard to stop you when you're going to be that aggressive. And then all of a sudden, some days you don't have it, and it could come back to bite you. What I do like is Sean hasn't done anything like totally reckless, like going forward on his own 30.
Right.
Which those are the ones where it's like, if you don't get this, you're going to lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, only 2 teams have gone for it on 4th down less than the Broncos this year.
Wow.
But the more I look at this list, the more I realize it's just a ranking of bad teams to good teams. Seahawks don't go for it on 4th down much because they win games.
And
the Giants and Panthers actually do win games, but they are the Panthers.
It's
Kinda
true.
interesting.
It's true. That is interesting. And you wonder if he's just getting aggressive late in the season or if that was a one-off game. We'll see. Guys, there's 2 revenge games in this game potentially, or at least 2 ones that come to the top of my mind. You got Tim Patrick coming back to the Mile High City, a feel-good story. Everyone's
It's not really revenge. He might be able to make it seem that way, though.
Broncos cut him.
Yeah, after trying to make it work, giving him a massive contract extension and him getting injured a bunch.
Broncos
His
cut him.
paper
though.
game was pretty crazy.
He'll turn it into a revenge game. And then maybe you won't think this one is. Evan Ingram is also playing his former team.
Massive revenge game. They did him so dirty.
They also cut him. Who do you guys think has a better chance of it turning out to be a revenge game?
I have no idea what to make of Evan Ingram. If he was on my fantasy team, I would never play him.
Right.
Because I have no idea when or why he gets involved into the game plan. The games where I'm like, ooh, this looks like a sneaky Evan Ingram game. He doesn't even show up. Sometimes by no fault of his own. So I have no idea. What's Tim doing this year?
So Tim is a touchdown merchant because he has 173 yards on the season, 13 catches, but 3 touchdowns. So 25% of his catches go for touchdowns. He is on the field 33% of the time, but we mentioned Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas. They do have a lot of other weapons on their team. And like you said, with Evan Ingram, he only has 1 touchdown this year. So Tim's got 3 times the touchdowns, but Evan does have over double the yards, over double the catches. Evan's at 41 catches, 359 yards for the season. And he is on the field 10% more than he's on the field for 43% of the Broncos offensive snaps as opposed to 33%.
Tim Patrick never took a snap after he signed that contract.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. 3 years, $34 million.
He took like probably 5 training camp snaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had
so
that one.
sad.
Yeah. It is sad.
One happened on like the first day of training camp, and I think the next one happened on like the second day of training camp.
Yeah.
Just brutal.
And I was going to do the math and try to figure out like how much they paid him per game, but he never played a game. So I think whatever was guaranteed, like the $18 million or whatever, he just got that for nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep.
Real quick, curious what you guys think of this. I know what like you're supposed to say, but fantasy playoffs semifinals this week. My quarterback is Trevor Lawrence.
Nope.
My other option is Cam Ward versus the Chiefs.
Play Trevor. You have
play
to.
Cam.
I mean,
No
I
way.
could maybe look to see if there's any like claimable players who are going to play this. Like Gardner Minshew, is that an option for me?
Should be. Unless you're
It is an option.
Yeah. Against the
Gardner
Titans. Oh my
Minshew
gosh.
against the Titans.
You play Trevor.
I think
With the ones that brought you.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Trevor's gonna struggle this game. I think he's. Really
I think so
gonna come
too. I think
back
I
down
might
to
just be
earth.
cooked.
Unless
that could
Cam
be.
Ward throws for 2 and runs for 1.
Yeah, he's never done that.
Yeah.
Chiefs defense is good too. Maybe you do go Gardner Minshew. Oh boy.
No.
I might sign Gardner Minshew right now just so I can
Yeah.
have this as an
In
option.
case anyone in your league's listening right now.
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
do that, we've got a super chat from New Zealand potentially. We got NZ dollars coming through, 10 of them. Shout out to Jake Fedelmessi. Maybe that's a New Zealand name. When Broncos make it through to the AFC Championship game, I am on the next flight to Denver from New Zealand for the DNVR tailgate and a night at the bar with you fellas. Book it. That is incredible.
It is pretty crazy to think that there is a scenario where by the end of this week, we're going to be talking about the Broncos being 1 playoff win away from an AFC Championship.
And that playoff game's at home.
And the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Is that a 4-digit game? Yeah.
Yeah.
The AFC Championship game?
Yeah. To get in.
Really?
It's got to be.
That's crazy.
I know season
It's been
tickets.
so
Yeah,
long
you're probably
that-
right.
Season tickets are double in that round what they are on the wild card. You'd think wild card would be more expensive than anything else so far. I think it's got to be.
Who's going from your family?
My dad will be there. We will find a way. I don't know who else.
I'm going with
There might be.
I'll pay my way.
Yeah, we'll see. I would imagine there's a ticket.
Oh my good. But you're right, especially with how hungry this state has been for playoff football.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary market's going to be wild.
Get this job done first.
Yep. I agree. And it starts on or continues on Sunday. Make sure to stay tuned with us for updates throughout the entire day. We're about to head out to practice now. We'll have a video drop later on YouTube and on the podcast side. So stay tuned for that for a post-practice update. We are going to be live again tomorrow at noon with everything you need to know about where the Broncos stand going into Jacksonville and hearing from Sean, Bo, Court, Pat. We got it all on tomorrow's show. That will do it today. Shout out to everyone for tuning in. We really, really appreciate you, including the people that join us at the very end, like 764. Shout out to you. Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Henry. Shout out to Dion. And shout out to everyone tuning in. We will see you tomorrow on the DNVR Broncos podcast.
God bless.
We all silly like the mayor.